What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your good friend and host, Kory Willis. Hope everyone out there is doing well on a Friday, getting ready for championship week of the college football season. We got some great games coming your way this week. As you're listening to this on a Friday, we've got two interesting group of five games coming up in championship week. So, yeah, overall, guys, I hope you all out there are doing well on a Friday. As always, you know where to find us, guys. You can follow us on a bevy of your favorite platforms out there. You can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok at BD Sportscast. You can find all of our content there. If you want to listen to the podcast only version of the Breakdown Sportscast, of course, you know where to find us. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, whatever your favorite podcast application, you can listen to all of our past and present episodes of the show there. And also, if you listen to our live simulcast here on our official YouTube channel and our official Twitch channel at Breakdown Video Game Cast, we appreciate you guys' support there. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, to the content. It's definitely important for Chris as we continue to build this channel with you all. Of course, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers, guys. And look, this is the holiday season, the season of giving, guys. Let your friends, your family know about the Breakdown Sportscast. If we can get to 100 subscribers, we will put your name in for a raffle to potentially win some free swag of your favorite school of your choosing, courtesy of Chris and myself. As a thank you for what you guys do here on the Breakdown Sportscast. So I think that would be a very good Christmas present
Yes, sir.
under the tree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, guys, as always, we very much appreciate you guys' support with the show. As always, y'all, you know I'm with my good friend and co-host. He is Chris Bolton. Chris, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm doing all right this way. How about yourself, Kory?
I'm doing good, doing good. Just enjoying the month of December, the season
Mm-hmm.
of giving. Of course, it's the holidays. It's always fun seeing everyone happy. Um,
You see
just
all the
being with
Christmas
family. Yeah,
decorations and
Christmas
all that.
decorations. Yeah,
Yeah,
college
yeah,
football playoffs coming. That's a present within itself.
yeah. You're right. You're right, brother. Yeah, man. No, everything is good my way too. So I'm ready for championship weekend. It's crazy. I remember when it was week 0, when it was Farmageddon.
And yeah, that was a great week by itself. We had some great
And
football that week.
we had some great games that weekend. Here we are. It's already championship weekend. You know,
Exactly.
Georgia, Alabama. You know, I mean, these two teams is one or the other. One or the other winning the SEC championship every season. It seems like Kory is crazy.
Mhm.
So, no, we got a fun rivalry in that one. Just a lot of great games this weekend. So, it should be a nice little early gift before we get to the playoff.
Exactly. I definitely agree, Chris. So yeah, man, a great week indeed coming our way, and yeah, man, I can't wait for us to delve into these games and see who's going to come out on top. Because man, by the time these games are done and we get to Sunday, definitely going to be interesting to talk about that on our live edition of the Breakdown Sportscast, Chris, where we can definitely talk about the winners and the losers of those games and talk about potential playoff seeding at that point in bowl games. So it's this is a big time for the sport of college football. This is what we live for.
Yeah, yeah. You know, potentially we could right after they release them go ahead and go live because it will be a lot to break down and talk about. There's gonna be some people snubbed, a couple teams that feel like they should have made the cut that won't make the cut. So we'll have plenty to talk about.
Exactly. I definitely agree, partner. It's gonna be a lot to talk about indeed. Well, This has been an interesting week, Chris. Of course, we got the big games coming up this weekend, but before we had these big games earlier this week, and pretty much finishing up or here on this Friday, we've had the early signing period, or I think we should call it National Signing Day, because National Signing Day has lost its luster in the month of February.
I was say this is signing day now, man. When you getting 30 kids to sign the papers, it's a new signing day.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that one, Chris. Yeah, man. But yeah, National Signing Day, the early signing period, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it National Signing Day at this point. Is definitely wrapping up. It was an interesting week, Chris. And look, me and you, this is what we live for, and watching the future stars announce where they're going to be headed for the next couple of years of their collegiate careers. This is how championship teams are made, folks.
Yeah,
It starts
literally.
with National Signing Day. And yeah, man, we got some great stories about National Signing Day overall. Some big winners, some big losers that we're going to talk about a little bit. I'll start with you, Chris. I know you were looking just like I was looking all Wednesday, and for the most part this week, in terms of just where everyone was in terms of getting players into their programs, building, cultivating um, a great ecosystem of talent that can help them win for next year and beyond. What were your thoughts about this year's National Signing Day? Who were some of your biggest winners and losers of the week?
I think when you look at winners, um, there's several winners, but I do have to give credit to Tennessee. I think you have to mention Tennessee and the haul that Coach Josh Heupel was able to pull in. Hey, Kory, I'm from Hattiesburg. Look, Tristan Keys is ridiculous. I mean, it hurts my heart to see him leave the state of Mississippi. And if you're gonna leave the state of Mississippi, at least go to Georgia, brother. But no, he's going to Tennessee, and he's one of them ones. He's special. He's an elite prospect. He's been one of the top wide receivers in his class for some time, and just overall one of the top players in the nation. And he's going to be I think he'll see the field day one, Kory. I think he'll be in the rotation and can potentially have like a Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith kind of impact and grow into a starter. Like he has that kind of skill set. So I think Tennessee did a great job getting him. They have other players, Legend Bay, other guys that they were able to haul in. So they got Tennessee has a great class full of blue chippers. So I got to give them credit. I also got to give credit, Kory, to Virginia Tech, James Franklin. Hey, the players, they tell you to go to school for the school. But these guys, they clearly love James Franklin. A lot of guys flipped from Penn State, came on over to Virginia Tech. They want to play for the James Franklin, the man that he is. Say what you want about him as a coach. You can tease about him not winning at the highest level, but he is definitely recognized as a great man. And these kids want to play for James Franklin. They had several four-star guys flipping to Virginia Tech to the point where VT has a top 25 class, Kory. So you got to give credit to Virginia Tech for that. And last but not least, Mississippi State. We, when, when things were looking rough, Kory, it was looking real rough a few days ago. We were looking at this class and we're like 62 in the nation. Ooh, and this is SEC school. This ain't gonna cut it. They turned things around, Kory. Top 30 class, almost in some rankings, you'll see it's a top 25 class. That's big. You get a 5-star safety to come on campus as well. You know, this is a big win, a big week for Jeff Lebby, especially after how the season played out. It's how you win the fans back. So I think those three schools most notably had great signing days.
I agree with you, Chris. Yeah, just a amazing week for a couple of those teams out there. I mean, look, even West Virginia. look. I know we come after Rodriguez a lot in terms of his time in Michigan. Of course, the tail end of West Virginia and the return of him at West Virginia. But hey, he's definitely all in on trying to make this thing right at West Virginia with him making this second coming, his return years down there. So yeah, gotta give our kudos out to West Virginia and what they're trying to do as well because they got into the top 25. They're currently ranked at 25 with their class. So yeah, man, I think for James Franklin, heck of a job. He came in saying that he was going to help change this program and turn it into a consistent winner. And like I mentioned, Chris, it starts here. It starts with signing guys, bringing in the right guys to build a culture, a winning culture in your program. If you want to win, it starts here on National Signing Day, and looks like all of these guys definitely put in the work to get to where they're at. One other thing I gotta know: Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. You flipped a 5-star quarterback.
Yes.
It got him into your program, big time.
Curtis is a big time player. He's a
Mm-hmm.
dog.
Yeah.
And to get him and to have him potentially take the mantle from a Diego Pavia and have it get passed on to him, take the baton, that's big. That's big. So and under Clark Lee's guidance and leadership, I feel good about what he can do at Vandy. And Vandy didn't stop there, Kory. They flipped the top receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, it was at I know they have Owen Cable
Mm-hmm.
as a wide receiver from Nashville as well. Six
They
two
got
and a
some.
half.
Yes, they got some dogs coming in this class, and that's just the recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy's going to be making noise in the portal, Kory. I'll tell you this: I think Vandy will have a top 8 portal class this upcoming off season. I'm gonna go ahead and predict it: a top 8 portal class because they got the money. Vandy is invested in winning, and they are going to give Clark Lee all the resources and potentially, if they don't make the playoff this year, you don't think them people are going to be upset? Best season in school history. We don't make the playoff. You don't think they're going to be motivated to try to repeat and replicate this season? Vandy isn't going anywhere.
Not at all. Not at all. Look, people should fear Vandy for next season. I think Clark Lee is cooking up some. He cooking up some of the meanest soup in Nashville. Like look, you want to try the guy's soup at Tennessee? Try my soup. Like, look, come over here. I'm cooking barbecue. I'm bringing it all to y'all. Like
Hot chicken. You know they
hot
got good
chicken.
hot chicken.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. like he hooking everybody up. Like Vandy, Nashville is where you want to be at, and Vandy is making sure that is pretty much the talking point every season. Bringing in big blue chip talent like a Jared Curtis is big for that program, Chris. That's the kind of stuff that really gets people talking about your program for years to come. And a
And
guy
it's from
like
an SEC foe too. It's
yeah
like one thing to flip
from
someone who's
Georgia,
big time, but you pull them from somebody who you more times than not are going to play against.
yeah, it's crazy. Crazy times that we're living in, Chris. If anyone would have told me coming in from the future, they would have told little old me in the past. They would have told you in the past, Chris, like, hey, Vandy's going to take blue chip 5-star talent away from teams like Georgia, we would have been like, you out your mind.
Leave. Yeah.
Right.
Stop wasting my time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go back into the future, wherever world you're from. And like that'll never happen in my world. And now that is happening in our world, Chris. These things are happening. And hey, we talk about it ad nauseum on this show, Chris. NIL. This is this is the era of NIL and bringing in talent through that and utilizing that war chest that a lot of schools actually have and can actually utilize to make their teams better. And Nashville, those folks in Nashville, they're really doing some things out there with Vandy. And hey, watch out.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. it was one thing when the big schools could all of a sudden you wake up in the morning, it's a brown bag on the front porch. You know, now you can legally have said brown bag be at the front porch, and it is everybody that is able to do so. So, yeah, ain't no fun when them doctors and lawyers got the gun out there in Vandy.
I agree. Look, I can't say anything else after that. Oh man, but no, you're absolutely right, Chris. So yeah, man, this is the world that we're in now, and hey, you got to keep up. You got to keep up, or get left behind because hey, this is how teams are made. This is how winning teams are cultivated. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see what happens with when Jared Curtis makes his way in the Vanderbilt. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait to call his games.
Yeah, I mean, because he's a Tennessee kid. He was making those drives, and put in the work. Continue to go to a small Christian school, and to see him end up staying in Tennessee and going to Vandy, man, like you said, huge for the Doors. This can propel Vanderbilt for the next 4 years, Kory.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Chris. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting indeed. So, but yeah, man, but National Signing Day, whole bunch of stuff going on. As we're recording this on a Thursday evening, with you good folks out there, Chris Henry Jr., top wide receiver. Still don't know if he's going to Ohio State. Word is, could be going to Oregon. It looks like Oregon's making that late game push, Chris. So, hey,
Hey, everything changed when Brian Hartline said I'm going to South Florida.
Boy, did it ever.
I mean, he's been the guru. It was the wide receivers coach, former wide receiver at Ohio State. Gave him the reins to be the OC. And we see how the offense has been. And it's tough, man, when you lose a recruiter like him. He's been the wide receiver whisperer, Kory.
Yeah.
Like over the last 6 years, each class, just somebody who's going to play on Sundays. Nothing but first round picks.
I know. It's scary in the way that he's brought in some of these blue chip talents at the receiver position, Chris.
It's real 2001 Miami, like Butch Davis Miami days.
I know.
Nothing but great receivers coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, man, it just shows that how good of a recruiter Brian Hartline is, and now he's going to South Florida. I look at that as a strategic plan. I know you do as well, Chris. In going down to the state of Florida, to coach South Florida, to be around all of these great talents at the receiver position in the state of Florida. And look, he's probably if he succeeds, and I think he will there in a few years with probably not in a few years. Oh yeah. I think he just needs 1 year. I think he's gonna be side eyeing that Florida State job like crazy, Chris.
No, Florida State fans will be side eyeing him and be like, "Hey, hurry this up." You see what they doing?
You see what Brian Hartline's doing over at
You see what's
USF?
going on in Tampa? They 10-2, 11-1 playoff. We
And
six
look
and
at us.
six
Oh my gosh.
going to the
Oh.
Birmingham Bowl.
Oh my
No
gosh.
respect, Birmingham. No disrespect, Birmingham.
Hey,
Hey,
no
you know,
disrespect to
no
Birmingham.
disrespect, but yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, it's hey, if I'm a Florida State fan, I'm looking very closely down there in Tampa while looking at your coach right now and seeing what's going on between the two programs, and seeing how you can probably sneak in and pick up one of the hottest recruiters out there in the country in Brian Hartline. So just saying it. Gotta throw that out there.
got to. Uh, So yeah, man, it's it's gonna be very interesting. It's been a little bit of shakeup in the coaching ranks.
Yeah.
Some guys getting their first stab at some big time jobs. So it's gonna be it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out next couple seasons.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens with Norvell and all of these different coaches out here. Trying to make a name for themselves. Trying to build their programs. Yeah, it's definitely going to be even bigger of a season next year once we get there. So yeah, man. Yeah, National Signing Day pretty much wrapped up. Now, Chris, are you all ready to delve into Championship Week?
Yes, sir. Let's make it happen.
All right, all right. So here we are, folks. We got Championship Week. Let's go ahead, kick things off with the SEC Championship game, Chris. Georgia taking on Alabama. The line has Georgia as a 2.5 point favorite. Over under is at 48 and a half. So, what we looking at, Chris, in this game? Now, look, we saw Alabama beat Georgia in Athens earlier in the season. It was a big win for the Crimson Tide. Can they do it again in the SEC championship game where it matters and potentially help with their seeding in the college football playoff? What we're looking at?
Yeah, Corey, this is a interesting matchup. Very interesting matchup. Always a crazy game. Very entertaining game. Whether it's a shootout or a defensive battle between these two teams. Um, Now, I think something of note, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama had a high third down success rate when these two teams played earlier this season. I mean, converted double digit third downs at a high, that's a high amount of third downs to convert. And ultimately kept the offense on the field. Bama finds a way to leave Athens, Georgia with the dub. I think that is a stat that is of note because I think this game does hinge on getting Alabama's offense off the field on third downs. And more notably, can Georgia force Alabama into third and longs? We know Alabama struggles with running the football. That isn't their forte. That's not what Kalen DeBoer teams hang their hat on. So if you can force Alabama to be in a 3rd and 7 or longer, and you know that they are going to pass, and you kind of take away that option for Ty Simpson to make plays with his legs, Corey, I think Georgia could win. But I think that's where the game rests at. I think Georgia will be able to put up points. I think Georgia will be able to slow down Alabama's running game. I don't think they'll run for 100 yards. I think Alabama will be lucky to crack 75 rushing yards. Um, this game falls on Ty Simpson and his receiving core. Can you slow down these receivers? Because Alabama's 5 deep. Like the whole rotation, the whole lineup can make plays from the freshmen to the seniors. Everybody is liable to make a play in that receiving room. You could say it's the best receiving room in the SEC and argue that it's the best receiving room in the nation, Corey. For being frank, to keep it real, those guys, they are dogs. So from Bernard to Horton to Williams, with the Brooks. I mean, like there's so many guys that make plays. So I'm going to say that Georgia does learn. They look at the film. They slow down this offense on third downs and get them off the field. And well, I like what I've seen from Georgia's running game to close the season. I think the rushing attack has been better. So I think Georgia will pound the ball. And ultimately, I think the Bulldogs get the win in this one. I know Alabama has dominated the series as of late. I know Kirby Smart, whether it's Nick Saban or Kalen DeBoer, has not been able to beat Alabama. But I think they get the win in this one. I can't find it in myself to pick Alabama to win. They have as much talent as anybody. So they will always be live to beat anybody. But because of how they run the football, Kory, they'll always be live to lose a lead too. They can't close games because of their play style. And I think in a game against Kirby Smart, and we know how meticulous he is and how his team prepares. And if there's one thing Kirby Smart teams can do, more times than not, they're going to find a way to win these kind of games. They fell short at home, and credit to Bama for finding a way to win that game. I'm gonna just play the odds, and I feel like if you in this opportunity, I think it favors Georgia to find a way to win this one. I think the Bulldogs win by 7, 35-28.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this game pretty much all week, Chris, and yeah, I've been pretty much talking about, um, Alabama. If they have any shred of hope to win in this game, they're gonna have to win by running the football well. And let's be honest, that's something that they haven't been able to do. They have been, quite frankly, piss poor at running the football this season. And that's big in talking about an Alabama football team that can't run the football. That's not Bama football at all. And that's, you can chalk it up and saying that's one of the reasons why they lost at the beginning of the season and they lost to Oklahoma. When you can't run the football, yeah, you're limited. And I think that's gonna be par for the course in this game. They can throw as many times as they need to. And look, that if there's anything that's going to keep them in the game, they got world class receivers that will get them downfield. But man, when they need to shorten the game, it's very hard for them to do that at times when they can't run the football and take the air out of the football against their opposing opponents. Yeah, I think overall that's going to be the uphill battle that the Crimson Tide faces in this game, Chris, is that they're going to struggle at doing that. For Georgia, looking at them at the Georgia Tech game, they were kind of making their mistakes as well too. We're just kind of looking at this team and being like, hey, can Georgia? They're winning the game, but can they play like this against Bama? Look, we've seen Georgia play in a lot of games this season that have been tightly contested, and they find ways to win the football. But guess what? They find ways to win because they can run. They can run, and I have to give them this. They have found a way, in terms of throwing the football better later in the season than they were in the beginning of the season. A little bit in the beginning of the season, they were a little hit or miss. But man, they found a spark with throwing the football with Zachariah Branch, Lucky, Oscar Delp, all those guys. Utilizing the running backs, Frazier and company, like they've found a way to also be efficient at throwing the football. So if they can play well offensively, if their offensive line can definitely have enough strain to put down Alabama, to slow down that Alabama defense, because that is one thing about Alabama. Their defense has they've definitely stepped up their game this season, outside of a few games, of course. I think Georgia has an opportunity to win. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take this line at 2.5. I I think Georgia is going to cover in this game. It's gonna be a close one, just because Georgia's gonna probably make it close. Oh, that Georgia Tech game really threw me for a loop, Chris, but they got it done. And yeah, I think they're gonna cover. It won't be an easy game to win, but I think Georgia is going to get their payback on the Crimson Tide and win this one. Give me Georgia 24, Alabama 20 in this one.
I can see it. I can see it. This could be a good old classic 2000s SEC game. Just keep it in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can see it happening. I mean, Alabama has talent on defense. They can make plays. This is a team that's been notorious for creating turnovers this season in clutch moments. So you can't count Alabama out. You have an explosive receiving core and you have a defense that can make plays when it needs to. It sets you up to be in games. So Bama will be right there in the mix. I think another thing to keep an eye on too is, can Georgia get a pass rush? You can't let Ty Simpson sit back and let these receivers find ways to get open. You got to make life tough for Ty Simpson. We've seen him struggle when you get a pass rush. Georgia has struggled at times with the pass rush. So I'm curious to see what this defense schemes up. Because you can't let Ty Simpson sit back there and just chill. You cannot. You absolutely cannot, Kory. Because I don't care if they can't run the ball. If Ty Simpson has all day to throw, Alabama's going to move the football, Kory. whether Jan Miller can run it or not, the ball's going to get downfield. And more times than not, if he has time all day, it's going to find a way into the end zone. So, Georgia, you got to get after Ty Simpson a little bit. So, that's another thing I'll be keeping my eye on.
No, you're absolutely right, Chris. Look, Ty Simpson, when Jam Miller can't get downfield on you, Ty Simpson, he finds ways to scramble and get yardage, to keep drives alive for the Crimson Tide. So he's been pretty much the saving grace for that rushing offense at Alabama. And Ty Simpson's not known to be that much of a runner, but he can run. That is the thing. That is their MO this season. And man, it's one of the reasons why, Ty Simpson, it has been a, fringe Heisman finalist. And I think he'll still be offered to go to New York. But yeah, I think his ability to run,
especially if they win this game and they win that
right,
championship.
Yeah, and I think they're going to need that. You're absolutely right, Chris. I think they're definitely going to need his ability to run the football to help get them to win. Get them. It doesn't even have to be that many yards. It just be a few yards to keep drives alive. Like I said, that's what he's been
third
doing.
Downs.
Yeah, those third downs. Look, Auburn found it out the hard way in the Iron Bowl.
Third and fourth down. They couldn't get them off the field.
Exactly. Yeah. So look, it's the same way for Georgia. They're gonna have to find a way to slow down Ty Simpson, Jam Miller. I think they can do it, but it's definitely gonna be a tall task, because Bama's offensive line, when they stepped up as well. So we'll see what happens. But I can't wait for this SEC
I'm ready.
championship.
Yeah, same. I can't wait either.
It's gonna be big, Chris. It's going to be big. But yeah, man, a great game indeed. We're gonna be talking about this one on our live show. Be talking about this one and pretty much the playoffs all together, and see what happens in terms of seeding after this game. So.